So go ahead and stand on up. Sweet. So from here we're going to go through those shoulder cars. We're going to go through 2 on each side, and then we're going to warm up a little bit more from there. So what I want you guys to do, get your feet about shoulder width apart. I want you to keep 70% tension or squeeze your butts and guts as tight as you can. I'm going to have you put your hand that you're not going to be using, you're going to go ahead and put it across your belly. From here, I want you to take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, you're going to push all the air into the bottom of your diaphragm. From here, we're going to go palm up. We're going to go across our belly button. Good. Then from across our belly button, we're going to move our way up, and when we move our way up, our palm is going to face our face, and I want our bicep right by our ear. Good. Once we get to this end sticking point, we're going to rotate away, so your palm is now going to face the opposite side, and you're going to reach back behind you, continuing to rotate from this bicep. So you're rotating, 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 until the back of your hand is right by your leg. If you find any pain there, I want you to shorten up that circle. Then from here, we're going to reach back as far as we can, and then you're going to begin to unwind, really keeping tension. If you find any sticking points, you're going to move a little bit slower through that point, and then you're going to bring yourself right back forward. Good. Awesome. We're going to do one more there. So, deep breath in, push all that air in the bottom of the diaphragm, nice tense body. Palm's going to start up across your belly button, reaching up towards the sky. Once you hit that sticking point, hopefully it's more up here without getting that trap engagement. You're going to rotate back behind you, nice and slow and controlled. Back of the palm ends up at the quad. Then from there, you're reaching back as far as you can, and then you're rotating, 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 rotating back around, coming across the body and back down. Good. We're going to do the same thing, but left side. Good. Go ahead, take that deep breath in. Push all that air in the bottom of your diaphragm. Keep everything nice and tight. Palms coming up across the belly button. Good. Reaching up until we find that sticking point. Find that sticking point, then you're going to rotate yourself away. Keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating, keep rotating. Good. Until the back of the hand is next to the quad. Then we're going to reach back as far as we can. Rotate, 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 rotate. Good. Coming back. We got one more here. So take that deep breath in, push all the air in the bottom of the diaphragm, tighten those butts and guts. Palm comes up across the belly button, reaching up as high as you can. Find that sticking point where the bicep is by the ear, and then start that rotating backwards. Good. Back to the palm. Good, and then you're going to reach back as far as you can. Remember, guys, we don't want to be reaching all over the place like this. I want your whole body to be stuck. We're only using that shoulder joint. So if you find yourself rotating away here, I want you to actually shorten that circle and work in just that range that you have. All right, we're going to warm this up a little bit more. So from this point, we're going to reach back here. Once we get to that sticking point, we're going to rotate that palm away, and we're going to actually scoop through here. So we're going to go 15 scoops forward. So we come back to that point, and then you're just going to scoop forward. So you're just getting a nice, almost like you're about ready to bowl, without, the bowling ball coming above your head, but good. Some good scoops.
They're rotating their torso and everything.
Yeah. Good. Last one here. Then you're going to reverse that. So you're going to reach behind you, and then you're actually going to scoop forward. So you're here, scooping forward, using that momentum from the hips, keeping that core engaged, scooping through.
Like a swimmer's move.
Kind of.
Digging.
Digging.
Digging like a little dog.
Good. Now we're going to go on. We're going to switch sides to the other side. So we're going back to those backward scoops. So we're coming up wherever we can, rotating that palm away, scooping forward underneath.
What? Oh.
I'm right in the middle, if you're wondering. That way I can see people bigger. Good, 2 more on this arm, and then we're gonna reverse those scoops. Good, so then we're coming through, pushing that air behind you, coming forward. So we're here, scooping forward. You guys can get a little more torso movement in there. You're not stiff as a board. We're actually gonna get some momentum from coming forwards. Next one we're gonna go to both hands. We're gonna come all the way up overhead, and then we're going to flick our wrists behind us. So we're all the way up overhead, flick the wrist behind you. If you have kids with you, you're kind of, you're just wafting your fart behind them. So you're all the way up as tall as you can, flick it behind you. Just getting those shoulders loose, warm, getting those wrists engaged. Good. Next one we're going to do is we're going to start rotating. So I want you to think of like a golf swing. We're going to plant whatever leg we're rotating around. Those toes are going to stay perfectly straight. This other leg is going to rotate this way. So we're going to rotate those torso, lean over, plant that front foot, rotate over it. So plant the front foot, rotate. So we're just coming here, rotating over that front leg. Front leg always stays planted, other one's rotating in. You can have arms nice and long, kind of swooping right behind you. Good, now what I want you to do is you're gonna go palm up. Hands gonna be high, we're gonna do that same thing, but we're gonna slice through the air, Fruit Ninja style. So you're coming over, slicing high to low. Good, make sure you're rotating over that front leg, getting those arms loose. Next one we're gonna do, this one's gonna be more like Qigong style or Jiu-Jitsu. So front arm is gonna come up right by the side of your neck. Back arm is gonna try to reach up the back of your shoulder blade as much as you can. So you're gonna come over and you're gonna switch. You're gonna get a little bounce in there with the legs. So one's in front, one's in back, kind of getting that nice good bounce up and down for me. Good, next one we're gonna do is we're gonna stick our hip out and we're gonna stretch out that whole lineage. So we're gonna stick that hip out, arm's gonna reach over as far as you can, getting a good stretch through here. You're gonna come up to the other side, same thing, get a good stretch through there. So you're really pushing that hip out, get a nice good stretch, reach as far as you can with that top hand, and then switch to the other side. Good. Next up, if you've ever seen Michael Phelps warm up, we're going to do those Michael Phelps arms. So on slight bend in the knees, you're going to push your hips wide over. We're going to go out as wide as we can. At this top position, I want you to squeeze those shoulder blades back as far as you can, and then you're going to give yourself a big bear hug, and you're going to rotate. Go ahead and add a little wrist flick at the end where you're squeezing those shoulder blades together as well. Now I want you to slowly work your way up, doing the same thing with your arms, but you're slowly working into a standing position. Next up, we have an intelligence test. I can't do it, so this one's for you guys. Arms are both gonna come up. I want you guys to rotate backwards and be able to get your arms going the opposite way. So if you start up here, they're going opposites. Oh, we got some good, oh, Jody's got this down.
Jody's been practicing.
Good, then I want you to reverse that. So if you were starting this direction, you're gonna go opposite directions. Good. It's a little brain teaser for you guys. You can work on that one. All right, guys, next up, we're gonna go into some hip stuff. So we're gonna do those side-lying hip cars again. So go ahead and get on your side for me. I don't know if you can see me on either, but.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, just slightly roll back right there. Perfect.
All right, guys, so put your, make a fist with that bottom hand. Top hand, you're gonna push as hard as you can into that fist. You're gonna drive that knee up as high as you can get that knee. Then you're gonna open up that knee as wide as you can. Then you're gonna rotate that ankle, so you're driving the ankle back behind you as much as you can, and then legs are gonna come together. From here, you're gonna reach back as far as you can, bring that knee up, make the biggest circle you can, and then you're gonna get your knee up to your elbow. Good, we're gonna do 3 here on each side. So bring that knee up as high as you can, open that barn door up as wide as you can, then from here, you're leading your ankle comes towards your head, as far as you can get that internal rotation, and then that knee is gonna come together next to the other knee. From here, you're kicking back as far as you can, and then driving up as high as you can towards that elbow. Good, and then from here, you're going straight down. Good, we got one more on this side. So driving that knee up as high as we can, keeping tension throughout the whole body, opening up that leg, driving that knee down, ankle backwards. Good, and then knees come down together. From here, kicking back, getting that extension through the leg, and then bringing that leg back up towards your knee as high as you can. Good, and then straight back down. Awesome, go ahead and switch to the other side for me. So creating that fist, pushing down through that fist. If you have a pillow, feel free to use that, or a yoga block for your head if you want to keep your spine nice and neutral. Then from here, knees coming up as high as we can. Opening up the barn door, internally rotating, so driving this knee in, this ankle's coming out. Good, and then knees coming together. Extending as much as you can, so you're driving that hip backwards, and then bringing that knee up and around to the front. Good, and then straight back down. Awesome, we got 2 more here. So bringing that knee up as high as we can, opening up as wide as we can, driving that heel towards your head, getting that external rotation, knees come together, extension through that hip, try to fight that hamstring cramp if you have one, and then that knee is coming up to the elbow, and then leg straight back down. Good, last one here, guys. So knee comes up as high as you can, open up as wide as you can, drive that knee back down. Good, back together. Extend as much as you can, and then bring that knee up towards the elbow, and then back down. Good. Next up, we're gonna work on a little bit more internal rotation. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to get in that frog position. So you have those knees out wide. I'm gonna try to get you the best angle I can here. And then I want you to come down to your elbows. If that feels pretty good in that position, The farther that you sit back towards your heels, the more of a groin stretch you're gonna feel. So if you feel like it's too much of a stretch, you can come out. You can bring your knees up a little bit higher. Yeah, good. Then from here, what we're doing is we're driving our knee into the ground and we're picking up our ankle. So we're gonna do one leg at a time. Your goal is not to rock forward in order to get that. You're gonna kind of find that end range where you're like, okay, I'm getting a good groin stretch. I'm not gonna move. And then I'm gonna drive that knee in the ground, pick up that ankle as high as I can, hold for one, and then slowly control the way back down. Good, so you're gonna drive that leg up as high as you can, getting that internal rotation, hold for one, come back down. We're gonna do 10 on each leg here. So we're at 2, driving it up, trying to keep the body not from rocking, not from picking back up, staying nice and tight. Good, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You're only at 20, not like 17 minutes.
8, 9, good, and one more, 10. Awesome. All right, guys. Then from here, if you need to kick out of that position, come out of that position. Otherwise, we're gonna do that other leg. And with these two, make sure that that leg isn't close to your butt. We want to be coming straight down, so my knee is in a direct line from my ankle. Good. From this position, we're doing that other leg, picking up that heel, holding for 1, coming back down. Holding for 2, coming back down. Hold for 3, come back down. Hold for 4, come back down. Hold for 5. Remember, I don't want to see any crashing ankles. I want you really to control that lower as well. Good. Hold for 1, 7. Hold for 2, 8. Hold for 3, 9. Hold, 10. Good. From here, I'm going to add a challenge. If you need to come out because your knees hurt a little bit, go for it. But we're going to add in a little shoulder cars here. So what I want you to do is you're going to make a fist here. You're going to reach out as far as you can. We're going to come up as high as we can, and you're going to get that external rotation. Internal rotation, coming all the way back until that back of the hand meets the back of your thigh. Then from there, you're reaching back as far as you can, coming forward, rotating, coming back down. We're going to do 2 of those. If you have any sticking points or any pain, you want to be shy of that range of motion for pain. So you're coming up as high as you can, and then out wider. Good. Rotating that bicep in, and then coming back behind you. Once you reach your leg, you're going to reach back as high as you can. Good, and then rotate that arm right back forward. Then we're going to switch sides there. So making that fist, leading with that thumb, coming up as high as we can. Rotating. Good, good, good. Till we're back to the side of our leg. Reach up to the sky as high as we can. And then bring that arm back around. You might notice that this range of motion is a lot shorter than we were standing. What's happening is we're blocking off a lot more pieces. So we can't rotate the upper body or the lower body at all. We're kind of blocked here in this position. We got one more on this side. So thumb comes up as high as we can. Rotating back. Good, till the back of the hands on our leg, reaching up as high as we can, and then bringing that arm back around. Good, awesome. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of a hip flow here. This one's gonna be fun for all of us. Make sure you have enough room that your legs can go straight out in front of you and then back behind you. However. All right, guys. From here, we're going to start with our right leg. So we're in this butterfly position. From the butterfly position, we're going to pick up our right leg off the ground. And we're going to go completely straight out in front of us and slowly lower that front leg to the ground. In this specific like flow, you're going to move your hands a lot. So in the beginning, some parts, if you can kind of create tension and have hands out in front of you, that's awesome. And some points you might have to brace yourself against the ground. So you can try this next part. I'm going to personally brace myself against the ground because I know that I'm going to need that because I'll probably fall over if I'm here. But what's going to happen is we're going to take this front leg, we're going to pick it up and we're going to put it into that 90-90 position. So from here, we're picking that leg up as far as we can. We're going to rotate that knee in. You might end up on that leg, that side is here. And you're going to drive that knee back to that 90-90 position. Yeah, awesome. Then from here, we're going to get our front leg into that 90-90 position. So we have to pick up that front leg and slowly control it back to that 90-90 position. Awesome. Now we're going to add a rotation in there. So I want us to drive the front knee down as far as we can, and then we're going to slowly make this left leg come up. So that right leg's driving into the ground. We're trying to create as much distance as we can between the knees. So this leg's coming back as far as we can, as far as we can. Once I can't, this knee's going to start coming off the ground. It's going to follow, but I'm still trying to create as much distance between these sides as I can. You can have your hands behind you. You can be up here, or whatever you need to continue to create that distance between legs as much as you can. Good. Then from this 90-90 position, we are going to get back to the position that we started in. So, how that's going to work is, this is where I get caught up.
Where's your notes?
My diagram over there. So, we're going to take this back leg, and we're going to get that back leg forward. So, here if you need to, go ahead and brace yourself. But we're going to pick up this back leg, and we're going to rotate out, and then forward into that first position. Good. Then from here, we're going to pick up that leg, and we're going to bring it back to that seated position. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, if you have to rotate around because you ended up in the other direction, that's fine. Now we're going to lead with that left leg. So what that means is we're going to have to pick up our right leg. So we're going to pick up our right leg as high as we can, and we're going to go out straight with that right leg, gently set it down. Good. Then from we're backwards, so now we're going to pick up our right leg, we're going to put it back gently.
That was a testing.
Good, so we're going to go our left leg out first, so whatever leg you did do last time. So pick up that left leg, and then you're going to drive it out straight, and you're going to gently set it down. From here, brace yourself however you need to, whether it's on the floor or up here, but we're going to pick up our right leg, and now we're going to rotate that right leg into that 90-90 position. And from that 90-90 position, we want our knee, hip, and shoulder all to be in line. So if you're up here like this, I want you to work on getting that extension and that stretch through the front leg. Yeah, awesome. Then from here, we got to get this front leg into our 90-90 position. So we're going to pick up that leg, and then we're going to bring it in to that 90-90 position. So now we have all of our 90s. Now we're going to rotate over, so we're driving that left leg into the ground, picking up this back knee, driving that back knee open. Good. While this left knee is going to follow, you're still trying to create as much distance as you can between legs, rotating over to that other 90-90 position. Good. You can press it down there if you want to. All right, guys. Now from this position, we're going to pick up that front leg, and we're going to make that front leg go out straight. Yeah, awesome. Then from here, brace yourself however you need. We are going to get that back leg that's in that 90. It's not a touch screen. You're going to pick up that back knee. You're going to open up straight, rotate it forward, and then back into that butterfly position. Awesome. Then we need to get that other leg that's already straight, that right leg. You're going to pick up that right leg and bring that back to the butterfly position. Awesome. Good. All right, guys, go ahead and rotate so you can see me. Awesome. So now from here, we're going to do a little bit more work in these positions, but we're going to break them up a little bit more. So I want you guys to pick up that right leg as far as you can. You're going to go out straight without putting it down, and then you're going to go out to the straddle position. Good. Then from here, we're going to pick up that left leg, out straight, and then into that straddle position. Awesome. Now we're going to go right back to that right leg, pick up that right leg, come back to the butterfly position. Good. Pick up the left leg as high as you can, bring it in to that straddle position. We got 3 of these here, so we got 1. Now we're going to do 4 so we get equal on both sides. We're going to pick up that left leg, out straight, and then over wherever that range of motion is. If it's too hard for you to be, hands creating tension here, feel free to prop yourself up with hands behind you, whatever you need. Then from here, we're going to pick up that right leg as high as you can, out to that straddle position, set down gently. Yeah, good. Now we're going to go left leg up, back to the butterfly. Right leg up, back to the butterfly. Good, we got 1 more on each leg. So right leg up, out to the straddle, gently set down. Good, left leg up, out straight, out to the straddle. Good, we're going right leg up, back to the middle. Left leg up, back to the middle. Good, then we're going to reverse that. So last one on the left side. Left leg up as high as we can, out straight. Good, gently send that leg down. Right leg comes up, out to the straddle, gently set down. Good, left leg up, left leg comes back. Right leg up, right leg comes back. Good, nice. All right, guys, go ahead and shake that out if you need to. Stretch it however you need. Awesome. The last little piece we're going to do is some pails and rails for internal rotation of the shoulder. So what I want you to do is get into that side lying position. I want your knees almost to a 90-degree angle. If you have a yoga block, go ahead and block your head. We want to make sure that our shoulders are stacked over. I don't want you open here. Good. And then I want you to make a fist from this position. From this position, it's going to be like you're punching yourself. So if you go directly, like straight line from shoulder to elbow, I want you to come in about 3 degrees. And then think about it, if you were to rotate all the way in, you're going to punch yourself in the belly. You guys got that? Awesome. From here, we're going to take I'm on my left side, so I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to just gently push onto my left hand until I feel a good stretch in my shoulder. From here, we're going to hang out for a full 2 minutes. Will you start the clock for me?
Yep.
Over there.
Oh, my own clock.
Or your whatever clock.
Yeah, we just have you.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Yep. So what's going to happen, guys, after this 2-minute position, we're going to go into the pails and rails contraction. So we're going to gradually, you can think of like percentages, we're going to increase from 0 to like 20% to 40% to 50%. We're going to create more tension through the body. What's going to happen is we're going to try to drive this hand as much as we can into ourself. So right now we're just stretching for a full 2 minutes. You're not doing anything yet. This hand is just here helping it get a stretch. But when that 2 minute time period is up, I want you to think, I'm not trying to push down with this top hand. I'm actually trying to drive this fist as far as I can towards the ground without picking up that shoulder. 2 minutes?
Yes.
No way.
No, it hasn't been 2 minutes.
Oh,
No.
So we're just hanging out, stretching here. Then on that rails contraction, so as soon as we stop that rails contraction, you're not done yet. What's going to happen is you're going to try and drive in the opposite, no, how is that? With the internal, here, can't go, I guess, yeah. So the rails, you'll unwind that arm as much as you can.
Yep.
Huh. Oh no, you push against your hand.
Push against, and then you like.
Yeah, so you're pulling away and then pushing
pulling
against.
away. Yep.
So with that rails contraction, you're going to be this hand is actually going to be pushing in, and your left hand or whatever hand is in that fist is going to be pushing against it. So what's going to happen here, guys, is we're going to start that contraction. So what I want you guys to do is think, I have about 10% like contracting in your body, so squeezing everything in your body nice and tight. I got 20%. Remind you, every percentage we go up, I want you to try to really get this hand as close to the ground as you can without pushing this hand. So we're about 60% tension now. Think about it going up through your body. Maybe you can feel your butt cheek or your legs squeezing the ground. We have 80% tension. Good, 90% tension. Remember, pain-free range. So if you're starting to cramp and get feeling, hang out at that 70%. We're at 90%. All right, 100%. Don't let that shoulder up here come off the ground. Trying to drive as hard as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're trying to push against your hand as hard as you can for 10. So I'm trying to externally rotate. I'm pushing against my hand. Push, push, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, I want you to keep that new range that you just gained, but I want you to relax and catch your breath. Good, good. All right, guys, from this position, we're gonna do a few lift-offs before we switch sides. So from here, what I want you guys to do is you're just going to reach down as far as you can, hold 1, 2, and then you're gonna come back in. So you're trying to internally rotate, hold 1, 2, come back in. Internally rotate as far as you can, hold 1, 2, unwind back your hand. We got 2 more here. So driving in as far as you can. Remember, we're not lifting off that shoulder. That shoulder's planted in the ground. Driving down, 1, 2, come back up. Good. Last one here. Driving into the ground, 1, 2, come back up. All right, guys, go ahead and switch to the other side for me. Get the neck break. All right, guys, so same thing here. If you need a pillow because you're getting a neck cramp, that's what was happening to me. Get that shoulder stacked, and then I'm gonna move that hand in about 2 or 3 degrees. Arms, knees bent. From here, we're going into that 2-minute stretch. So making a fist, and you might find that both shoulders are different. That's perfectly normal. Timer, we got 2 minutes, please.
Yep, timer.
So we're gonna do that same thing. So with that pales contraction, when it comes time in 2 minutes, fuck.
What?
I was just gonna say it's almost been 40 minutes on this thing.
35 on the.
Here, I'll let him in. Get back in action.
So you can see when I go.
Oh, they're there. Okay.
click on, yeah, there you go. Now they're,
Okay. Back to our previously scheduled program.
sorry for the commercial break. All right, guys, go ahead and get back into that sideline position. We'll finish out with a minute of that stretch before we finish with our pills and rails and lift-offs, and then you're good to go for the day. Oh dear, we lose Jody.
Yeah. Jody's out.
Will you make it so I can see the... Gracias. All right, guys, is everybody back in their stretching position? Good, so I want you guys to start ramping up that tension. So think about, it's starting from my feet. I got about 10%. Now I got 20% coming up towards my knees. 30%, it's through my quads. I'm starting to engage my glutes. 60%, I'm up the torso. So my abs are nice and tight. 70% is kind of coming down this other arm. 80%, I'm really trying to drive this hand as far into the ground as I can. 90%, if you have pain, stop at that percentage. Don't try to push it even farther. But here we go with 100%. You're driving this hand into the ground as far as you can without picking up this shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to externally rotate. So you're trying to unwind, but this hand does not let you. You're driving into that hand as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hang out there in that new range of motion for me. Whew. Good. If you need to come out because you're getting cramped, shake it out. Come back in. We got 10 lift-offs here, guys. So driving that hand down as far as you can. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Slowly rotate back. Good. So rotating in as far as you can without getting that shoulder off the ground. Good. 3, 2, 1. Slowly unwind. Drive it in. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Slowly unwind. Good. Hold it in for 1, 2, 3. Slowly unwind. Last one here. Drive it in. Slowly unwind. Good. Nice job, guys. So that's the